For a village girl in the big city, it was the ultimate prize, a diamond necklace from a wealthy lover. But this gift wasn't just a jewel, it was a weapon, and the moment it touched her skin, a terrifying curse began. It began, as so many stories do, with a dream of the city, a dream of escape, of a life painted in gold, and it ended with a gift from a wealthy lover, diamond necklace, shimmering with promises. But this was no ordinary jewel, it was a weapon, and the moment it touched her skin, a terrifying curse began. This is the story of Chiamaka, and the true price of a Lagos dream. In a village far from the city's electric hum, a girl named Chiamaka. She was blessed with a beauty that seemed to echo the morning sun, and an ambition that burned just as brightly. Her parents were poor farmers, their hands calloused from a life of toil, but their hearts were full of love for their only daughter. They had sacrificed everything, selling their harvests and firewood, to give her the one thing they never had, an education. And Chiamaka had not disappointed them. After finishing her studies, the letter arrived. It was a posting for her National Youth Service Corps, the NISC. The destination was a single word, but it held the weight of 1,000 promises. Lagos. Lagos, the city of dreams. A concrete jungle where fortunes were forged overnight. Every night, she would lie in her simple bed and dream of it, clutching her pillow tight. She saw herself in a high-rise office, wearing sharp suits, her parents living in a fine house, their days of hardship finally over. On the day of her departure, the air was thick with excitement and the bittersweet scent of goodbye. Her parents, their faces etched with pride and worry, blessed her journey. They pressed into her hand a small knot of cash, the meager earnings from the firewood they had sold the day before. It was all they had, and it was everything. The bus ride was a 5-hour blur of changing worlds. Green farmlands bled into bustling towns, which grew into the sprawling, chaotic symphony of Lagos. She arrived as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. But the beauty was swallowed by the sudden, intimidating darkness of the megacity. The girl with a big dream was now a small, solitary figure in a world of giants, with nowhere to go. She decided her only option was a cheap hotel for the night. As she walked, her NISC uniform a beacon of her newcomer status, a chariot of the city gods pulled up beside her, a gleaming white G-Wagon. The tinted window slid down, revealing a woman who seemed carved from wealth itself. She was beautiful, classy, her voice as smooth as polished marble. "Hello, pretty lady," she said. "Where are you going at this time of night?" Chiamaka hesitated, her mind racing with all the horror stories she'd heard about Lagos kidnappings, rituals, the dark side of the city's shine. But the woman's smile seemed genuine, her presence calming. "My name is Chiamaka," she stammered. "I just arrived for my NISC." The woman introduced herself as Chidima and handed Chiamaka a crisp business card. "I can help you," she said. "Call me." Before Chiamaka could properly thank her, the G-Wagon was gone, ghost in the city's traffic. That night, in a small, stuffy hotel room, Chiamaka's stomach ached with the hunger she couldn't afford to satisfy. The little money her parents gave her had to last. As she lay in the dark, the city's noise a constant hum, she thought of the woman in the G-Wagon. Was this fate? Was this how dreams began in Lagos? The next day, after a breakfast of cheap snacks, Chiamaka made the call. She found her way to Chidima's office in the heart of Lekki, a world of glass, steel, and air conditioning. Chidima sat behind a desk, a queen on her throne, the nameplate CEO, Chidima's hub gleaming before her. She saw the hunger in Chiamaka's eyes, not just for food, but for the life Chidima represented. She ordered her a lavish meal, and watched as the village girl ate with a desperate intensity. Then, the conversation began. Chiamaka poured out her heart, her dreams of a good job, a beautiful life, of lifting her parents from poverty. Chidima listened, a small, knowing smile playing on her lips. "You have big dreams," Chidima said, her voice dripping with persuasion. "I can help you achieve them. All of them, right now." She laid out the proposal. Chiamaka wouldn't need to suffer through a year of service. Money could handle that. Her NISC certificate would be delivered to her. A high-paying job was hers for the taking, if she was ready. Chiamaka's eyes widened. "A job? Without my certificate? How is that possible?" Chidima leaned forward, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "The job is simple, but demanding. I will connect you with powerful men, businessmen, politicians. You will be their companion. You travel with them, keep them company, and they will reward you handsomely." The beautiful words were a silken veil over an ugly truth. To Chiamaka, confused but dazzled, it sounded too easy. "Just like that?" she asked. Chidima didn't answer directly. Instead, she opened a drawer and pulled out a stack of cash. 1,000,000 naira. "For your transport," she said, pushing it across the desk. "Go. Think about it. You are one step away from everything you have ever wanted." Chiamaka had never seen so much money in her life. The feel of it in her hands was electric, a current that short-circuited all the warnings her parents had ever given her. The decision was made before she even left the office. That night, lying on her hotel bed, she convinced herself it was the only way. The next morning, she called Chidima. "I'm ready," she said, her voice firm with resolve. And just like that, her old life vanished. Chidima moved her into a fully furnished 3-bedroom apartment in Victoria Island, complete with chefs and domestic staff. Her NISC uniform was replaced with designer clothes. Her hunger was replaced with gourmet meals she couldn't pronounce. She was living the dream she had clutched to her pillow, but it was a dream owned by someone else. After a month of being pampered into a state of blissful dependency, Chidima visited. "This life you are enjoying," she said, her smile gone, placed by a sharp, business-like edge. "It is not free. It is time to pay the price." Chiamaka, now terrified of losing it all, agreed without hesitation. And so, her work began. Chidima pimped her out to a Rolodex of rich and powerful men. Chiamaka became a chameleon, changing her personality to suit each client. She traveled the world, her phone buzzing constantly with credit alerts and requests from new men. She dripped in gold and diamonds, gifts from her admirers. The village girl was gone, replaced by a proud, untouchable Lagos big girl who sent money home without explaining its source. One of these men was Mr. Osas. He was a man who seemingly had it all, including a devoted wife named Dukas. She was the woman who had stood by him when he was a nobody, who had built a life with him from scratch. He had always treated her like a queen, but recently, a frost had settled over their home. He was distant, working late, taking business trips that felt like lies. Dukas knew something was wrong. One night, while he slept, she picked up his phone. After a few tries, she guessed his password. The first message she saw was from a contact saved as Strawberry. Reading the messages, seeing the call logs, her heart shattered into a million pieces. This Strawberry was Chiamaka. "Who is this woman who has stolen my husband?" she whispered into the darkness. Her sorrow began to curdle into a cold, hard rage. Her suspicions confirmed, she became a detective in her own home. A few days later, while searching for her car keys, she found it. A small, white box tucked away in a drawer, tied with a pink ribbon. Inside, a magnificent diamond necklace set on a bed of velvet, sparkling with a cruel beauty. It was a beauty not meant for her. In that moment, Dukas made a decision. "Strawberry," she murmured, her voice laced with venom, "I will teach you a lesson you will never forget. You will learn to stay away from married men." That evening, Mr. Osas presented the gift to Chiamaka. She squealed with delight, her eyes captivated by the fire in the stones. "It's beautiful," she cried. "I love it." He fastened the clasp at the back of her neck. The diamonds felt cool against her warm skin, a weight of luxury and possession. It was the ultimate prize, a symbol of her victory. She had no idea it was also a collar, a chain, a vessel for a scorned wife's simmering hatred. The change began 3 days later. A small itch, a slight pain. She ignored it, but it grew. Her neck began to swell, a grotesque puffiness that distorted her elegant profile. She went to doctors, the best in Lagos, but they were baffled. They saw nothing on their scans, no cause for the inflammation. They gave her pills for infection, but the swelling only worsened. Soon, another horror emerged. A foul smell, like rotting meat, began to emanate from her neck. It was subtle at first, easily masked with perfume, but it grew stronger, more putrid, an undeniable stench of decay. Her life of luxury began to unravel. The men stopped calling. Mr. Osas visited one last time, but couldn't even get close to her, recoiling from the unbearable odor before making a hasty retreat. Her bank account, once overflowing, dwindled as she spent fortunes on useless treatments and fake miracle cures. The final nail in the coffin was Chiamaka. She arrived one day, her nose wrinkled in disgust. "You are a liability," she spat, the warmth in her voice long gone. "You are no longer making me money. You need to leave. Pack your things and get out of my house." Chiamaka begged and pleaded, but Chiamaka's heart was a stone. The next day, she returned and had all of Chiamaka's designer clothes and expensive belongings thrown out onto the street. And so, the girl who had arrived in Lagos with a dream found herself living a nightmare. She slept on the streets, a pariah, her swollen, stinking neck a grotesque mockery of the diamond necklace that had once adorned it. The city that had promised her everything had taken it all away, leaving her with nothing but shame and suffering. Tired, broken, and seeing no way out, she decided to end it all. She made her way to the third mainland bridge, the water below a dark, final invitation. As she climbed the railing ready to let go, a calm voice cut through her despair. "You have caused chaos in many homes," it said. "One of them decided to punish you, but your life is not the price to pay." She turned to see a pastor, holding a large Bible, his eyes filled not with judgment, but with compassion. He led her to his small church, where he prayed with her. He told her the sickness was not of the body, but of the spirit, an affliction born of another's pain. The solution, he said, was simple. She had to remove the source. He told her to throw the necklace away, and she would be free. With trembling hands, Chiamaka removed the cursed diamonds and cast them away. As she fell to her knees, weeping tears of repentance, she felt a lifetime of pride and greed wash away. And a miracle occurred. In the days that followed, the swelling in her neck subsided. The foul smell vanished. She was healed. The church congregation, moved by her story, collected money to help her rent a small room and start her life over. Chiamaka, humbled and transformed, dusted off her certificate and began looking for a real job, her heart now devoted to a different kind of wealth. As for Dukas, her victory was hollow. She soon realized that removing one girl did nothing to fix the faithlessness in her husband's heart. He was quick to find another, and then another. She regretted the dark path she had taken, realizing her true battle was not with the strawberries of the world, but with the man sleeping beside her every night. Chiamaka's story is a warning, whispered on the bustling streets of Lagos. It speaks of the allure of the easy path, and the terrible price it can demand. For she learned that some gifts are not gifts at all, but chains. And the brightest diamonds can sometimes carry the darkest curses.